Welcome to the Destiny Awakening Interviews, a podcast with Andrew Wayfinder and his guests, bringing you powerful insights, inspiration, and ways to break free, live life your way, and make a difference in our changing and challenging world.
So hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to another edition of the Destiny Awakening Interviews. I'm Andrew Wayfinder Renievich, and I'm joined today by Sherri Kaye Hoff, transformational business coach, author, and podcast host. So a very warm welcome to you, Sherri. And where are you hanging out today?
Well, thank you so much. And I'm in Parker, Colorado. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, aren't you lucky? Yes, what was today in England? Today was rainy and gray. No surprise there. So let's get on to your work. So Sherri Kaye Hoff is a transformational business coach known for inspiring intuition, vision, and massive action. And she's a catalyst for personal and business growth, joy, and profits in a way that's fun, relaxing, and fulfilling. Sherri uses both spiritual and practical techniques to obliterate the blocks and create transformational change. She's a business leadership, happiness, and inner game expert. She had her own near-death experience 5 years ago, which has made her life mission sharing the keys of happiness and success with her clients. So thank you, Sherri, for your time today. And we're going to be looking at the topic of shift your wealth set point. Mm-hmm. Sherri's going to unpack that by answering 6 questions. So the first question, Sherri, who is your ideal client? And what's the transformation your work helps them achieve?
So my ideal client is a small business professional service provider, but they always have some kind of spiritual element. They're either beginning searching or open to spirituality, or they might be very far along their spiritual journey. They're people full of integrity, loyalty, kindness. They have a mission. So their business is more than just, I'm in business to make money. They have a real vision for making change and creating a better world.
Okay. So what's the transformation your work helps them accomplish?
Yeah. So most people think, I want to grow my business, and they think they're looking for strategy. But what happens is it's a personal transformation that you have, and it's the person that you become along the journey of growing your business that is really the true gift. And so your business doesn't transform until you transform. And so you see this all the time in small things like, people who are afraid to be seen or afraid to be visible. All of a sudden they're on stage talking in front of lots of people or doing a podcast. Those are things of growth and transformation that happen as you go from starting a business or maybe even being in business for a while, but deciding that you want to scale your business and become, more successful, make more money, make a bigger difference. So the transformation is really deciding inside to create a much bigger vision for your life and your whole life, because we all are kind of glued down by, how we were raised or the experiences that we had. And most people are afraid. Like I ask people all the time, well, what is your goal? Well, I want to make more money. Well, how much more money? And they have no idea, because all they've thought is they want more money. But the idea of saying, I want to double my income, or I want this kind of lifestyle feels too big and scary. And I'm, frankly shocked at how many people are like that. They would rather just say they want, one little tiny piece of the pie instead of, the whole shebang.
Okay. Well, that I think is a perfect segue into question number 2. So what's the biggest challenge they're facing? And it sounds like that's exactly it.
Yeah. So they're usually everyone, actually, no matter who you are, your biggest challenge is your mindset and your set of beliefs. And so, and people can take class after class and training after training, but if that mindset and that set of beliefs doesn't shift and change, you will see maybe some improvements or improvement for a while, but until you make that leap into really thinking a different way. I was talking to a client the other day, and we were talking about the value of her time. And we set a dollar amount because her cost accountant said we need to figure out your time, not just your employees' time in the creation of these products. And so it's like her transformational work to step into what, the real value of her time. And it's just amazing to see that unfold.
Okay, great. So question number 3, what's the number one insight you would share with people right now to help them in their own journey?
Okay, so this is just going to be so simple, but the number one insight is to really journal every single day. Create that as a practice. And I have a kind of elaborate journaling practice that I use, or you could call it a morning ritual. But something that keeps you putting one foot in front of the other and keeps you grounded and centered and focused on what your goal is for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year, for the next 5 years, because we all get so distracted. We're like, yes, I want to write a book. And then, oh, look at the butterfly over there, and I think looking at butterflies is wonderful, but we've got to, have focused attention. So
yeah, it reminds me of a favorite T-shirt of mine says that, when you're up to your ass in alligators, it's hard to remember you're here to drain the swamp.
That's a good one.
So question number 4, in your own development, what was the most impactful concept, book, experience?
So I've had many, but the most recent big dramatic event was 5 years ago when I lost consciousness, went over to the other side. And, had one of those near-death experiences. I went into the light and, met beings that said to me, it's not your time yet, and we'll get you back in your body. And I came back into my body, and I was on a ventilator and told that I might have to have a heart transplant within a year. And then within 3 weeks of that event, I just had a miraculous healing. And a lot of that healing, I believe, the doctors call this spontaneous remission. I know it's a miracle, but I believe that miracle came because I decided how I was going to live my life before I knew I even was going to have healing. Like, I didn't know if I was going to live 3 months or 6 months or a year or 5 years. And I decided I was just going to live the way I've been teaching my clients for years, just full on, full out, going for everything on my bucket list and being happy and not sweating the small stuff. And I've continued that. I kind of was like that before, but even more dramatic and impactful since that experience. So I still have some angel dust on my shoulders, I feel like.
Oh, great. Thank you. So question number 5. What's a free resource you'd like to share with the audience to help them today?
So I have a masterclass called 5 Keys to Explosive Growth in Your Business. And it talks about transformation, vision, omnipresent marketing, mindset, and that special magic sauce that you need to pull it all together. So it's probably the best masterclass that I've ever done, and something that anyone who listens will get a lot out of it.
Okay, and that'll be on your website, and I'll put the show notes. I'll put the URL in the show notes.
Perfect.
It's Sherri K Hoff with 2 Fs.com/ and this is all hyphenated, numeral 5 keys to explosive biz growth free training / and I said that'll be written out in the show notes.
I was going to say I could make that URL easier. But if they go to just sherrikhoff.com, there's a little box that they can click and
it'll
sign
pop up.
to.
Okay, yeah. So just go to your website and they can find it there. Okay, great. So at the last question, number 6, Sherri, what should I have asked you that I didn't ask you?
You didn't ask me what I like to do for fun.
What do you like to do for fun?
Well, I'm a travel girl and I love the beach. So I like to, and I'm a water girl. So I love to be in the water. If I'm at the beach, I'm in the water usually. And I've even had a shark encounter when I was in a kayak in the Bahamas. So live to tell about that one. Yeah. So the shark attack wasn't fun, but it was fun to realize that I could be calm through something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was it actually? Was it an actual attack, or was it just you and the shark were in the? It was
It was more like a lurking. Like my girlfriend and I were paddling the kayak, and her dog kept trying to swim out to us, and she was paddling the kayak, and she hit something. We were both paddling, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, a shark!" And then we both like went completely silent, and all we could think of was the dog. So we paddled as fast as we could to the dog. Imagine now a kayak, which is tippy, and the shark is circling the kayak, and we pull the dog into the kayak and paddle back to her house. And the whole way back, the shark circled us the whole time.
Okay. Yeah. That's not quite an attack, but it's not a fun afternoon.
No, it was maybe more of a fear of an attack.
Yeah,
I didn't have any blood going.
I just have visions of like chomping up on the boat or. I'll tell you a story about that when we get off the call.
Sounds good.
So that's perfect, Sherri. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for listening to the Destiny Awakening interviews. If you have a friend who would benefit, please share and subscribe to the show on iTunes and leave a review. We really appreciate it. And remember, always use your power for good.